Welcome, everyone. I'll start by this. When you see a fedora hat like this, what comes to mind? For many of us, we think about the movies. We think about mafia bosses. We think about even our former president, Goodluck Jonathan. But for me, this reminds me of what opened my eyes to entrepreneurship. So I remember a song that was sung around 2010, featuring Bruno Mars, which was the song Billionaire. And I think some of us know this here, so if you could join me, it goes like this. Sorry. Great, alright, it goes like this. I want to be a billionaire, so fucking bad. Buying all the things I never had. I want to be on the cover of Forbes magazine, standing next to Oprah. Thank you very much, you've been amazing. Give a round of applause to yourself. So yes, I thought to myself, I need to become a billionaire. This is what I'm looking for. I need to buy everything I've ever dreamed of. Now, how was I going to do it? I thought that, I just need to charge 100 million people $10, and that is it. I just need to find a way to do that. I don't know how. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm going to find a way to do it. So the next thing I did was, I went on Google, and I searched, who are the billionaires of this world? What do they do? I saw names like Carlos Slim, Bill Gates, the big guys. They had built great businesses that were serving millions of people. And then I made it my purpose that, this is what I was going to do. So the next thing I did was I started looking for small businesses to start. The first thing I ever started with was selling sweets back then in school. I sold like tiny sweets. I'll buy it from the shop during the early hours of the day. Because I was in a boarding school, I'll then sell it later in the evening for a higher price. But the business was going, but it wasn't going as fast as I wanted it. I'm trying to become a billionaire here. How much am I making from selling sweets? So yes, I started as that. It wasn't working so good. Then I read this book so this is what I thought I would look like, when I finally became a billionaire. So then I read this book called Lean Startup. And what Lean Startup made me understand was that successful entrepreneurs were not just about building for financial gain. They cared about solving problems, really big problems that created a lot of value for people. It made me understand that, I needed to shift my focus from just thinking about money to think about, building strong businesses. And then since then, I then ventured into, different types of businesses over the years, about 4 or 5, a lot of failures. And today I'm currently running one. This is one. Well, so I'm going to just talk because I don't think this slide has everything I would say. So yes, I learned 4 things that nobody told me about entrepreneurship. And I'll tell you, the first thing was the dreaming part is easy, but execution is the hardest part. You see, when I was dreaming of $10 trying to get from people, I didn't realize how much effort it took. I mean, it takes a lot of effort. The first thing is you're not just responsible for yourself, you're responsible for other people's lives. You're responsible for your employees, their families. You're responsible for your customers because once your service fails, somebody's affected somewhere. You're responsible for your investors who are trusting you to give you some money and believing what you are doing. And here you are trying to figure this out every single day. Another thing under that I learned was that for the bigger your dream, the bigger the structure you have to build. So if you're thinking about structure, if you're trying to build let's say a bungalow, for example, the foundation, you don't have to think too much. It's not too deep. But if you're trying to build a skyscraper, the foundation is a lot different. So if you're trying to dream big, you need to also build big. It takes a lot from you. The second thing I learned about entrepreneurship is that the highs are very high and the lows are very low, Now, every single day, you're stuck in a paradox of emotions. 1 minute, you are very happy. The next minute, your mood is totally gone. You experience disappointment every single day. You have people disappoint you, your colleagues, your employees, partners, investors. Is absolutely normal. You need to take that pill of disappointment and swallow it with the refreshing juice of perseverance. The next thing I learned was your journey is very unique. It's very different from everyone else. I used to compare myself at some point to my fellow colleagues who were working in very high paying jobs. They were being paid so well, and I was wondering, what am I doing in my life? Why am I here breaking my head on this wall when I could be earning a lot more? But it's just part of the journey. You need to realize that where you're going to is quite different from where they are going to. And there are a lot of amazing people that you're going to meet on the way. I, for one, I love working with my colleagues. They're really, really amazing people. They make me laugh every single time. I also have met a lot of friends who are also building businesses by the side, and I've learned a lot from them. I'm very happy I went to NUTM because some of my friends that I'll call entrepreneur friends, I met them from here. I met Ajibola, I met Bolu Omotayo, I met Bright Williams and Tobe, so on and so forth. And I would not trade that journey for anything in the world. And I think finally, the one thing no one had said was, these big entrepreneurs are humans at the end of the day. They have feelings, they have emotions, they have vulnerabilities. Even though like people look at them and say, oh, when do they sleep? When do they eat? How do they move? How are they able to do so much in a very short time? At the end of the day, they are all humans. And so, after learning all these things, I sit back to myself, and what I have to say to people is, if you are trying to go on the entrepreneurial journey, or you're already in the trenches of being an entrepreneur, the most important thing is to focus on building something of value. Building something that will change lives, building something that will save lives. Because at the end of the day, that's what we need in Africa. We need to build more businesses that will actually change the world. And at the end of the day, I believe it will be worth it. And that's what no one told me about being an entrepreneur. Thank you.